Hello there. You made it to speaking question 3. For this, I congratulate you. Hooray! Now, back to work. Question 3 is a whole new thing. It's new because it's a multiple source question. It's an integration of reading, listening, and speaking. It seems like a lot, I know. So for this, we use our column note format. I want you to get in the habit of writing the note format for each question before you even begin. With question 1, 2, and 6, it's an outline structure. With question 3, 4, and 5, it's a column format. It's simple. So question 3 has 3 sources of information. Because of this, we write 3 columns. The far left column, or first column, will be for your statement. Now, a note about the statement. It doesn't really matter. They don't ask you about it. They ask about one of the 2 people speaking. Because of this, the statement is really just to give you an idea of the subject of the conversation. It gives you some preview or a background for the conversation. The conversation is the key, specifically whoever talks the most. Which leads us to the second and third column. The second column we can label P1 for person 1. This is usually a man or a woman. Usually the other person is a man or a woman. And they do this so that you can easily tell who is talking. So you don't confuse if it was a man and a man or a woman, it might get confusing. But be prepared for anything. Let's continue. Label column 2 P1 and column 3 P2. When the first person begins talking, you'll write their content in that P1 column, and the second person's stuff in P2. So why include a statement column if they don't really care about it? Well, the answer is you don't have to. You can just leave it out. But I include it because it's never a bad idea to include all the information. Simply writing things down puts ideas into our head, and it prepares us for the conversation, which is really important. So, we read the statement. Here's an example of a statement. It's usually a change of some kind, almost always university related. Registration policy or some kind of new computer lab. The statement, again, isn't so important. The important thing is the conversation. So, you only want to write a basic overview of the statement. For this statement, we write, simply, uni-only organic, and maybe 20% fee increase. This tells us what the conversation will be about. Then, we listen to the conversation. As soon as the conversation begins, we write the first person's content in P1. We don't know if they'll be the focus of the conversation or the subject of the question, but we write it there just in case. Then we write the second person's content in the P2 column.
Have you heard this new food cost increase the university is planning?
Yeah, I read an article about it in the school newspaper yesterday. What do you think of it?
Well, honestly, I think it's totally unreasonable.
Really? I think it's nice to know they'll only be serving healthy food. It can be difficult to find healthy, organic food sometimes.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but a fee increase of 20% is too much. The food at the cafeteria is already overpriced. The idea of paying another 20% on top of that, I don't know if I'll be able to afford it.
I know what you mean. I eat at the university cafeteria every day. I don't really have time to leave campus to buy cheaper food. It will mean much higher prices for me, that's for sure.
And most students are already on a tight budget to begin with, not to mention the fact that it wasn't even our idea.
What do you mean? I thought it was proposed by a student.
Well, it was, but it was voted on by the university administrators. No one bothered to ask the students if they were willing to pay extra for organic food. The least they could have done was have the students vote on the increase. I would have liked that option.
It will be obvious after the first 10 seconds who is the focus of the conversation. One person will talk more, and that's who they'll ask you about. That's the only important person. And here is where understanding the TOEFL patterns are so important. That person, the one who they ask you about, will speak in the outline format. That means they'll give their opinion, and they'll give you a couple of supporting ideas. You simply need to listen to that person's opinion. They will either like or dislike the change, and then write down their supporting reason for that opinion. Here is how your notes would look for this question. And here is what a sample response would sound like. The man and woman are discussing the university's decision to increase student fees 20%. This is to pay for organic food in the school cafeterias. The woman dislikes this. She dislikes this because she feels that the 20% increase is too much money for students. She feels that students are already on a really tight budget. In addition to this, she also thinks that the food in the cafeteria is already really quite expensive. She's upset that it's going to increase, and even more so, she's upset that the students didn't have any say in the decision. She would have liked to have had some sort of an option to choose organic food or not. We simply want to quickly state the issue and then how the specific person feels about it, and then the supporting reasons why. Using our notes, we read left to right, focusing on the main speaker's ideas. So, to review, we need a column format with 3 columns. The statement isn't important. Only the main speaker is important. We need to write everything down because we don't know who they will ask about. See the text for speaking scripts and note templates. These will help you with keywords and transition phrases, as well as give you an idea for timing for your response. And remember, keep it simple.